Welcome back everyone to the Blender Creator course Stylized 3D Models, and this is where we left it off. Alright, so now like I said, I think we should probably start and build this bit out. Probably not put the roof on yet. I'm not actually sure if we should put the roof on yet because that's a geometry node and it's quite a complex one. I was thinking more or less to do the plank one first, to go through that one. So actually I think that we'll come round to this side and we'll start building this side out. What we'll first of all do though is we'll actually hide this part out of the way, like so. So we'll just grab it all, press H and hide it out of the way, and then what we can do is we can actually get these parts in place first. So we know that it's going to come up to here, and we know then that it's going to come down to here, and then we know we've got a big part in this, and it's probably going to come from, if you look, from this part here. So it's going to go across all the way over here, and then this part's going to start, as we can see. All right then, so let's actually start that. So what we'll do first of all is we'll go into material view, and then we have a good view of what we're doing, and then we're just going to come down to asset manager, and I'm hoping, yeah, back into material view like so. And let's come down now and go to, I think first of all let's bring in some wooden supports. I think that will be the easiest way, and it's up to you really along here how you put your wooden supports. When I do it, I like to make them look a little bit different from each other. So what I'm going to do, especially each side, I like to have each side looking very different from each other. With this as well, I think I'll also be using the, which ones are they now? The angled ones. So we have 4 angled ones. So let's bring all 4 of these angled ones in at the same time. Hopefully. Nope, I only brought 1 in. So let's have a look which one. Let's delete that one out of the way. That's 1, 2, 3, and 4. All angled ones, as we can see. And then what we'll do now is we'll drop this one into here, like so. And then what we'll do is we'll bring a wall in as well. And you can see that we're maybe a little bit out on this. So we'll see once we've actually got them in place. But we want 1 on the end now. So we'll put 1 on the end, like so. Get it in that corner. And it's probably going to be way out, but we'll see. And then what we'll do is we'll put 1 near enough in the middle of these 2. So if I press 3, I can go and see. This is pretty much in the middle. So now let's pull it back a little bit. And now let's get some supports in. I think that'll make it a little bit easier. So I'm going to go to my wooden blocks. And then let's pick let's have a look. We've got 1 meter, 1 meter, 1.5. Let's see how big that one is, 1.5. I think that's going to be a little bit small for going across these. So what I'm going to pick is the bigger ones. So let's bring the 3 meter one in. I'm going to spin that around then. So RZ 90. I'm going to pick that up and put that in place then. And I think I'll be able to actually get away with using this one probably twice and then spinning it around. So if I get it to round about there, and then if I press S and Y, I can just pull it out a tiny bit, like so. I'm thinking probably going to be better off if I come a little bit further along here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull it out and then make sure that these are a little bit back under that, like so. All right. That one's maybe a little bit too far, but we're going to bring some walls in and we'll see. Now let's pull this one across, so Shift D. Let's make it a little bit smaller. Let's then spin this one round, so R, Y, 90. Let's pull these up a tiny bit. I think they're a little bit too low. And then let's pull this one back into place, like so. All right, so that's looking pretty good so far. The only thing is I would say is that this is probably hanging over maybe a little bit too much. So let's press S and Y and then put it back in place. Yeah, and I think that's going to be better. Let's bring in a 2 meter one now. RZ 90. And let's pull it into place. Let's make it a little bit smaller with S and Y. And let's press 3 on the number pad, like so. And then S and Y, let's pull it out and fit it in to place, like so. And they don't need to line up perfectly. It's actually better if they don't. So something like that's absolutely fine. All right, let's save out our work. And now what we'll do is we'll have a look at the next layer up. So what we'll do is we'll bring in some different ones now. So I'll bring in a 2-meter one again, RZ90, and I'll try and make it look actually a little bit different. So I'm going to still slot it in here, but I'll let it come a little bit further over. So what do I mean by that? Just going to slot it down to there. You can see how it comes a little bit further past this one, and it just adds to the randomness, and that's exactly what we're looking for. So something like that. And then what we can do is we can add another 3-meter one, or even a 2.5. Let's see if we can add one of these. So RZ90. Let's bring that one up and put that one next to it. So we have a line at least now where we can actually go to, and that's the good thing, because it does make things easier for us. Let's bring it across, like so. And I'm actually probably going to stretch this one out a little bit. So I'm just going to press S and Y, stretch it out a little bit, like so. And then what I'm going to do now is I'm going to use this one again. So Shift D, and then I'm going to stretch it back in. So S and Y. And then what I'm going to do, I'm just going to line it up and then I'll spin it around. So RX, sorry, not RX, RY and 180. Let's spin it around that way. And then let's line it up. I press 3. I just want to line it up now. So S and Y, like so. All right, that's looking pretty nice. I think now what we'll do is we'll probably get these little parts in. Once we've got these little parts in and this floor in, then I can actually start bringing in the wall. That would be great. All right, now before we carry on, I think I'm just going to pull these out a little bit, just a little bit. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to fit a wall in here. So I'm going to go to my walls. I'm going to grab my wall. I'm going to spin it round, so RZ90. I'm going to press 3 just to slot this one into place. So it's going to be something like that. I'm going to make it a little bit taller, so S and Z. A little bit more in the middle. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put this into place like so. And that's what I actually want. I actually want this to be stuck out just that little bit. So I just need to make sure that this fits in, as you can see. I don't want it too much where it's actually going around the back of it. I still want to make sure that these fit. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab these, pull them back just a tiny bit, and now they're actually fitting into place, and that's what I want. And then what I want to do is I just want to pull these out now. So both of these, let's pull them out a little bit, like so, just till they're slotting into this part like that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to come now and put in a wooden block. So I'm going to get my tiniest wooden block. I think it's 1 meter, this one here. And then I'm going to spin it round, so RY 90. Then let's put this one in first. So if I press 3 now, you can see I've got to make it a fair bit smaller. So I'm going to press S and Z just to shrink that down a little bit. And I think because I've shrunk it down so much, I'm probably going to have to, because I need to shrink this down even more. So there's 2 ways of doing this really. I'm just going to put this back a minute and show you the one way. So we're going to pull it down just to where we want it to go. So we can see that we would like it to go probably into there, something like that. And then what I'm going to do, instead of, shrinking it down, what I'll do is I'll cut it around here. So I'll just come in and I'll grab the top and the bottom. And then what I'll do is I'll press Y. And then what I can do is now I can come to the bottom of it, press Control plus. And sorry, I didn't actually show you what I did there. I grabbed the top of it, I press Control plus, and what that enabled me to do then is just increase the selection. Now if I come to this one with Alt Shift click, press Control plus, I can increase the selection again. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to press Delete and Faces, like so. And then I'm going to bring this top up to somewhere around the bottom of here, like so. And I'm not just going to leave it like that, actually. I'm going to try then and join these together. And the way I'm going to do that is I'm just going to grab it all, like so, in edit mode. Press A to grab everything. And then I'm just going to try and see if these will join together. So I'm going to go to Mesh. I'm going to go to Clean Up, Merge by Distance. And then just increase your distance. Not that way. This way. Nearly. There we go. And now it's actually joined all of that up, and you can see that's quite a nice way to actually do this. All right, let's press Control A then, all transforms, right click, set origin to geometry. And now let's just put that into the place where we want it. We can see we're a little bit out, but now stretching that just that tiny bit, it's not really going to make any difference. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put that into place around there. And I'm probably going to actually Shift D, get another one in there, drop it to the back, and then RZ 90, just spin that round. Then what I'm going to do is now I'm going to grab these, and I'm thinking that I'll just, I'm thinking actually I could move this one across to the top here and this one back a little bit. So I'll actually do that as well. So I'm going to come in, grab this one, pull it back like so, and then I'll come in, grab this one and pull it over like so. And actually I think that looks a little bit better than what it did. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually grab another support. So if we come into wooden supports, I'm going to grab the one now which is not the angle one. So this one is a straight one. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to press 3 on the number pad. I'm going to bring it up then to where I want it, so we can see it has to be a fair bit higher. So I'm going to bring it to there, S and Z then, just to pull it out. And then let's put that into place like so. And we just want this then going back into that kind of corner then. It doesn't need to be straight, so don't worry about that. We just want it to cover that little bit there and make sure it's actually sat on there. And we can see that it's probably a little bit, I've probably gone a little tiny bit too much. So I'm just going to press S and Z, shrink it down a little bit, and there we go. That should be absolutely fine. Now, if we come in, what we can do now is we can grab each of these ones, and on the next lesson, we'll start moving these across. And I understand this is a slow process, but trust me, if you were doing this the other way, where it's just making a piece, putting it in place, unwrapping it, it's going to be so slow in comparison to what we're doing here. Remember, we're making a fully flushed out, stylized building, and this building is going to look like really professional, and that's what we're trying to achieve while making it as quick a workflow as possible. And if you can imagine that you're going to come into your own Blender projects and you're going to have all these parts already built out, and you're going to have all these materials as well in your asset manager, you can really see how quickly and easily you'll be able to create buildings, really professional looking buildings easily. Especially if you also consider that within your asset manager, you're going to have lighting set up, you're going to have HDRI set up, you're probably going to have even the compositing set up, geometry nodes set up in there as well, and a library of materials. All right, everyone. So I hope you're really enjoying this so far, and I'll see you on the next one. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.